All right. Hi, Jimmy. How are you?
Hi, Douglas. How are you?
Thank you for coming on the show. I appreciate it.
I'm honored to be on the show. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, I'm honored to have you on the show because you and I are both songwriters, although you're quite a bit more successful than I probably will ever be. I see all of your wonderful records on the wall. And
Uh,
now you've written for everybody, it looks like, right? Kenny Rogers, Anne Murray, I see up there.
I've been very lucky to have the chance to write for a bunch of different people across the country worlds and pop worlds and a lot in film and TV. But I've been very lucky to be able to do things in my career that I really enjoy doing, which sounds like as well with you. So it's a real luxury when you can do stuff you like.
Did you start out as a songwriter or did you start out as a performer?
I started out really in when I came. I drove out from Chicago, where I was born and raised, with seven brothers and sisters, and my first job was in television. I was a writer and then a producer for the Happy Days series, and then for some of the spin-offs of that and some other shows as well as at Paramount, and then from that, I had a chance to write a lot of songs for a lot of those shows in television, and then with that, kind of had a couple hits in the music world, and that has been sort of the mainstay of my career has been in the music world.
Well, that's interesting because, if you go back into the 30s and 40s, nobody who was a performer wrote their own material. And
Yeah,
and
right.
yet now it seems like most people do, but there still is a demand for songwriters like you who would write for other people. Yeah?
Yep, and and that's definitely shifted. Where in the days of the '80s and '90s, it was definitely more that way. And I think it's become more of an artist writing their own material. World is far more the norm. But with that, one of the treasures of my life has been just being able to collaborate with some of the people that I've collaborated with over the years has been, just such a privilege.
Now, when you write material, do you work directly with the performing artist, or do you just write it and then if their A&R person thinks it's suitable, they give it to them?
It is so different, Douglas, for every project. Sometimes in the film and TV world, you're writing for a particular moment, and then some projects have been where sort of concept driven, where you're writing it and then getting involved artists out of the gate to be involved in it. And then sometimes you just write songs and throw them out there and see who wants to do them. And it's come in all different ways over the years.
How has technology changed your process at all, or has it?
It definitely has. I think. I mean, I've always enjoyed technology and worked hard to keep up with that. And it's a part of the job. It's being in the. I'm really consider myself in the story business of whether it's writing or television or songs or book project as this, whatever it is. It's storytelling at the end of the day. But with all of them comes, the more you know about the technology, the better, and it's fun, and for me, it keeps me young, and I love it, and it's so exciting. There's so many ways to now express yourself and to get things out there in the world through technology. So it's a great thing.
Well, to say that technology has influenced the music industry would be an understatement.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, it's
It's
changed from many many moons ago, where artists were selling records, and that was the revenue was in the record world, and then it shifted to now being where the revenue is in concerts, and where the music is, for all intents and purposes, collateral.
Right.
and on YouTube, and and utility companies sell it as a utility. So it's just shifted, but it's still the same thing. It's still creating music that you're hoping inspires people and fascinates them and challenges them, and the art is still the same. How do you create something in 3 minutes that engages a complete stranger? And that's the fun of it.
On your bio, it says that you are the founder of Inspire, a celebrated music and branding firm. Interesting subtitle. How is that different than a music publisher?
It's really that that was born out of a bunch of companies, just big, Fortune 500 companies were coming to me to write music and to create music that was either for their brand or for their store experiences, but just to fortify their brand. And out of that, I've been focusing in recent years in the world of, which has been so much fun, of university music. And I've been asked to write alma maters and fight songs for a number of universities all around the country.
Oh,
And
that's
it's
great.
just been so much fun. And I did one for where my daughters went to school at SMU. I wrote a school song there, and UC Merced up in California, the New State School, and Claremont colleges, and Pepperdine, and just different. It's just been a blast, and it's so thrilling to see schools take on these songs and own them and then use them in everything under the sun, within the walls of their university.
I didn't even know schools had fight songs anymore.
Yeah. Oh, so it's been great. That's been great.
Well, I know you're here to promote a book, and we're kind of running down on time, so let's get to that. It's called A Shepherd's Story, and I just took a look at the cover. This is a children's book?
Yes, and it's a children's book that was really born out of I have two girls that and when the first was born, that process, that moment of witnessing that was just absolutely extraordinary to me. And I mean, if just the wonder of that, and it was just extraordinary. And in that moment, that really is sort of the heartbeat of this story. It's taking a peek at the window of the shepherd, the guy in the nativity story that didn't even have a name. And but I just always was fascinated with this, this shepherd, this probably a 15-year-old kid that had the lousiest job in the world at the time of being a shepherd, where you're, up in the middle of the night watching a herd of sheep, and it tracks his journey to finding Mary and Joseph and witnessing the birth of Jesus. And in that moment, just realizing that what one person could be. And that's what I'm hoping, and I'm finding with some different things that are going on with this book, which has been so much fun, is that I think people are responding to just that sense of hope and promise. And, with all the kind of bad news that's out there right now in the world, I think the nerve that this is hitting, the reason that lots of schools are doing plays of the story, and last year so many priests and ministers did their homilies where they read the book, and we had parishes all over the country that were getting the book, and it was just amazing. And towns that are doing treasure hunts around the story of the shepherd. I think the nerve is really just this positive story of promise, and also something for parents and kids to have a moment to enjoy just reading a book and kind of getting off of cell phones and just a story that celebrates that, the wonder and the spirituality and the promise of Christmas.
How did you find out about this shepherd? Because I didn't even know he was. I mean, I don't know. It's been a while since I've been to Sunday school, so I don't know the whole story. I know the basic story, but how did you know he was even there?
I didn't know really any more than anybody else, and you know where the particular story was really, you know, the catalyst of it was a parish priest in our town of Pacific Palisades. I saw him at an early Christmas party, and he said, "If you have any ideas for a homily for Christmas Eve, let me know." And that night at about 3 a.m, scribbled out the story of the shepherd story. And 99% of the time when I do anything at 3 a.m, when I wake up, whatever I thought was good at 3 a.m. is just horrifying, you know, once I wake up. And in this case, I thought, well, this, you know, I like this. This is pretty good. And got the book made, had an amazing illustrator from Ukraine do the illustrations, and then this book has just taken on a life of its own, which has been so much fun.
So, any plans to have this made into a full animated series feature?
I can't believe you're saying that, Douglas. That's for this new year. That's what I'm going to be going after, and got some fishing poles in the water with that right now. But I think that could be lots of fun. I did make a song version of it that's on the website on shepherdstory.com. And I made a song version where it was really fun to do with, we got all the kids from the school in LA, that's the real version of what Fame was, these incredibly talented high school kids. And about a dozen of them played all the parts of the story. And we did a sort of this, this musical, a short version of a musical. And it's all free and it's all online at theshepherdstory.com for any families or kids to enjoy.
Is the song like a pop song, or is it more classical?
It's
or?
It's probably more, it's sort of a pop musical theater. If I had to put it in a basket, but because it's a longer piece. It's 10 minutes long. So,
well, Jimmy, we got to wind this down. We are out of time. Thanks so much for coming on.
I can't thank you enough. Thank you.
And again, your website is?
My website is jimmydunne.com. And then the website, though, for Shepherd Story, which is the fun one, is it's shepherdsstory.com.